In November of 2016, a Taiwanese man named Sai Genza walked nervously through Yangon International Airport in Myanmar while transiting toward Taiwan. Airport police stopped him for inspection and discovered 80 grams of ketamine taped to each of his thighs, leading to his immediate arrest. On its own, the seizure was minor, but what he carried on his 2 iPhones would expose one of the largest criminal networks ever uncovered in Asia. When anti-narcotics agents accessed the phones, they found a vast archive of encrypted messages, calls, photos, videos, and social media conversations. The data revealed supply routes, payments, trusted lieutenants, and coded instructions stretching across multiple continents. Among the files was the face of a man already known to intelligence agencies, a figure linked to major drug seizures but never fully identified. His name was Tse Chi Lop, and investigators believed he controlled a criminal empire larger than those built by Pablo Escobar or El Chapo. Law enforcement agencies across Asia, North America, and Australia quickly mobilized. Intelligence was shared, task forces were formed, and the hunt for Asia's most elusive drug kingpin officially began. Tse Chi Lop was born in 1963 in Guangzhou, Guangdong Province, during the height of China's Cultural Revolution. Led by Mao Zedong, the movement aimed to eliminate capitalist influences and reshape society through ideology and mass mobilization. In cities like Guangzhou, the impact was severe. Schools closed, public denunciations were common, and daily life became unpredictable and dangerous. Young people were drawn into the Red Guard, a paramilitary movement where loyalty, discipline, and survival mattered more than rules. Growing up in this environment meant learning how to adapt quickly, read people carefully, and operate under constant pressure. These skills would later define Tse's approach to crime on a global scale. At 25, Tse moved to Canada with his fiancée and parents, joining thousands who left ahead of Hong Kong's 1997 handover. They settled in Toronto, where Tse appeared to live a normal life. He worked for companies like Fujifilm and Kodak, raised 2 children, and blended into middle-class society. Behind the scenes, he was quietly building criminal relationships. During this period, he became involved with the Big Circle Boys, an international criminal organization that originated in Hong Kong in the 1960s. Unlike rigid hierarchies, the group operated loosely, allowing members to act independently while still benefiting from shared protection, contacts, and logistics. Toronto in the late 1990s was a hotspot for Asian organized crime. While rival groups fought violent turf wars for small profits, Tse saw a different path. He focused on scale, logistics, and efficiency, steering criminal activity toward sophisticated and high-profit operations. He identified drug trafficking as the ultimate opportunity and began building a heroin distribution network sourcing high-purity heroin from Southeast Asia, particularly Thailand. Instead of creating new routes, he used existing smuggling channels that were already proven and less likely to trigger attention. To move drugs efficiently, he formed alliances with powerful crime families, including an Italian-Canadian syndicate based in Montreal that controlled key port infrastructure. In exchange for manpower and support, Tse gained safe access to shipping routes into Canada and the United States. These partnerships allowed his operation to expand quietly and rapidly. By the late 1990s, Tse had become a major supplier. But success brings attention, and soon Canadian and American authorities noticed a surge in high-grade heroin entering North America. The FBI, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and local agencies launched a joint investigation using informants and undercover operatives. Eventually, intelligence traced the supply chain back to Southeast Asia. Surveillance revealed that Tse traveled frequently across the region to oversee operations personally. Then he made a critical mistake. In August of 1998, Tse traveled to Hong Kong, a jurisdiction with strong extradition agreements. Acting on shared intelligence, local authorities arrested him. Faced with overwhelming evidence, he pleaded guilty to conspiracy to import heroin into the United States and was sentenced to 9 years in prison. Prison did not end his ambitions. It refined them. Between 1998 and 2006, Tse formed valuable connections behind bars. The most important was Lee Chun-chak, a seasoned cross-border smuggler with operations spanning multiple countries. Together they analyzed global drug trends and enforcement weaknesses. They concluded that heroin demand was declining while synthetic drugs were rapidly expanding, especially in Asia. Synthetic drugs were cheaper to produce, required fewer people, and delivered massive profit margins. A few men in a lab could replace thousands of farmers in the fields. When Tse was released in 2006, he briefly returned to Toronto, but quickly realized the world had changed. China had joined the World Trade Organization. Global trade had exploded, and international supply chains had become faster and harder to monitor. Tse relocated to China and positioned himself near the Golden Triangle, a remote border region spanning Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand. Long known for drug production and controlled by militias, it offered ideal conditions for large-scale synthetic drug manufacturing. By 2011, Tse had built a new organization known as Sam Gor, meaning Brother Number 3, also referred to simply as the company. Unlike traditional cartels, Sam Gor operated like a corporation, with Tse acting as its chief executive. He united rival triads including 14K, Sun Yi-on, and Wo Xing-wo, along with the Big Circle Boys, Taiwanese gangs, and Australian biker groups. This level of cooperation was unprecedented and created a vast shared network of resources, markets, and protection. Quality became the foundation of Sam Gor's success. Tse prioritized purity and consistency, building trust with buyers and securing repeat business. High quality allowed higher prices and continuous reinvestment into better labs, equipment, and logistics. One of Sam Gor's most radical strategies was a guarantee of delivery. If a shipment was seized, it would be replaced at no extra cost. This was possible because production costs were extremely low. A few $1,000s could produce drugs worth hundreds of thousands on the street. The syndicate built a global logistics network using ships, planes, and trucks. Drugs were concealed in legitimate goods such as electronics, food products, liquids, and even loose-leaf green tea. Real businesses provided cover, making shipments appear routine and low-risk. Communication was protected using encrypted platforms, coded language, and advanced cybersecurity systems. Shipments were tracked using GPS and satellite technology, allowing routes to change instantly if danger was detected. Money laundering was handled on an industrial scale. Sam Gor used casinos, junket tour operators, trade-based laundering, real estate, cryptocurrency, and shell companies. Professionals including lawyers and accountants were hired to exploit legal loopholes and hide billions in profits. By the late 2010s, Sam Gor controlled an estimated 40 to 70% of the Asian synthetic drug market. In Australia alone, the syndicate supplied the majority of methamphetamine, fueling a national public health crisis. The breakthrough came in November 2016 with the arrest of Tse Chi. The data on his phones revealed the true leadership of Sam Gor and confirmed Tse Chi Lop's central role. International operations intensified as agencies across the world coordinated arrests, seizures, and intelligence sharing. Interpol issued a red notice. All eyes began to distance themselves. Tse attempted to move between countries using remaining contacts, but the net was closing. In January 2021, Dutch authorities arrested Tse at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport as he attempted to board a flight. He was later extradited to Australia, where he faced multiple charges including drug trafficking, money laundering, conspiracy, and bribery. His arrest destabilized Sam Gor, creating power struggles and disrupting global drug supply chains. Rival groups rushed to fill the void, leading to increased violence and instability across multiple regions. Despite his downfall, the synthetic drug trade continues to thrive. Demand remains high, production is cheap, and enforcement struggles to keep pace with innovation. Tse Chi Lop built two global drug empires across different continents and decades. He applied corporate strategy, technology, and efficiency to crime on an unprecedented scale, leaving behind a blueprint that reshaped the modern drug trade. Do you think figures like Tse Chi Lop are criminal masterminds driven by individual genius or products of global systems that reward efficiency and profit above all else? Share your thoughts in the comments and join the discussion.